Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third and final round of the 2024 Chiang Mai Open. We're at the beautiful Lanna Rocks Garden, located just outside of Chiang Mai. Shasta Criss has been collecting birdies everywhere over the last couple of rounds, trying to hold off the likes of Trevor Harbolt, along with Teemu Jönkkäri and Thai national Pichet Panturat. We finally saw a little separation in the top few spots just over the last few holes. The question is, who has the momentum to close this off here in the final 9 holes? Or will we have maybe a playoff? We head to hole number 10, just 266 feet, slightly uphill. And of course, you have to worry about the hillside as it slopes off and to the left. Shasta missed hole 3 on the front 9, but that's it. He has birdied 8 of 9, and he's trying to make it 9 of 10. He was off to a similar start in round 2, where he missed hole 1, but then birdied the next 11. So clearly Shasta has some of these dialed in as we watch Pichet put himself in position. Yes, another lefty on the card. 2 lefties, 2 righties. Trevor came into the round just 1 behind Shasta. Teemu was 2. However, we saw a 2-stroke swing back on hole number 6. And that seems to be the momentum all in Shasta's favor at the moment. Easy birdie for Pichet. If you're watching this thinking about 2025's action, yeah, make sure you join us. Of course, we'll be seeing the event take place down in Samui. The Koh Samui north side will be offering up the Samui swine, as has been happening for the last decade or so. And then the following weekend is scheduled to be the Chiang Mai Open. And that's exactly what we saw here in 2024 as well. Players often doing the Samui Swine and then coming up here into the mainland. As we head to hole number 11, most players will try and go up and over these evergreens. Well, I don't know what kind of trees those are. I'm not even going to guess. That looks pretty textbook. Might be a tad short, but still looks pretty good. We'll see Pichet go with the forehand. I think I'd say the exact same of that shot. Maybe a little closer, but on the right side. And beautiful turnover, missing everything. Okay, so even closer than I realized. And we're going to keep the Shasta birdie streak rolling. That's 8 in a row for him. Easy cleanup, of course, for Trevor. He's got them in the last 3 now. And a star frame on the 11th. This is our second par 4 of the course. And you see the Mando sign listed there. And the basket, that's not the basket, that's a previous one, but I'm kind of panning over. If from right at this angle, the basket's at about 2 o'clock. So you're trying to go left of the Mando, and then you're going to have a pretty hard dog leg to the right. It sets up, of course, a little better for a lefty, but not to the point where I think you can really drive to the green. Even though I do love the low line and a skip, although that one carried too far. Now you can see it off to the right side. You still have this Mando to deal with. So you have to go left of that tree. And then there's some protection around the basket. Did he get Lanna rocked? I don't know what the phrase would be. Not sure if that was a root or a rock or stick or something else in the ground, but he may have just gotten Lanna rocked. And I don't think anyone says that. Maybe they do. Routine approach shot for Pichet. Trevor sits 4 back with just 6 holes to play. Time might be running out. He's going to need a little help. Shasta's going to have to slow down somehow, and we haven't seen any of that out of Shasta. Shasta shot a 14 under in round 2, as did Trevor. Trevor will take the par. And with that, Shasta moves to 38 under, 11 under through 12 holes today. So I feel like that's the same pace he was on yesterday, getting 11 of 12. And big thanks to my Patreon supporters and subscribers. I say it all the time. This is a perfect case in point where this coverage would otherwise not even be possible if I didn't get some support via my Patreon sub. So if you're subbed, thank you. If you're not, maybe consider it, because that's how you get to see extra footage from literally all around the world and some of your smaller events that you may not otherwise get to experience. We're watching Shasta put on a clinic right now. Yeah, think of it that way. Think of maybe your Patreon support as paying for a clinic from some of our pros, including Shasta Criss, who is trying to line up his 12th birdie in 13 holes. Oh, low out of the hand of Pichet. Jönkkäri keeping it low as well. Not the best of ground play. And the wind picks it up and turns it over and carries it well off to the right. And you see over there, that's actually the previous hole's tee pad. One of them, at least, as we're watching. Just a little standstill forehand. Easy work here for Pichet. So these 2 holes get played in this spot, and then we cross basically right where that car is. And that's where we head over to hole number 14 to start heading back to the start. and where 18 is. Up on the left in that shot a moment ago, that's where actually hole number 10's basket is. Kind of venture over here, play this little 2-hole loop, and then hop back across the road. That's all Shasta's left with. I mean, the guy is now 12 under through 13 holes and doesn't even need to putt on that one. Give me a break. Just a tap in. We head over to 14. Maybe I said it last round, but this is one of my favorites. I don't know what it is about it. There's just the gentle elevation drop. I mean, we're only talking 5-10 feet or so. I don't know. One of my favorites. Just the way it's framed up. Nice low putter or mid-range, something that maybe has some skip to it. You don't want to go blasting too far past it, but Shasta seems to have just the right amount of touch. See what the other lefty can do. We saw the forehand a moment ago by Pichet. He doesn't like it. I could understand a lefty not loving this unless they're going with the forehand. So I certainly sense that. But as a righty backhand thrower, feels like one you should be excited to step up to every time. A little frustration from Trevor realizing he's out of holes, it looks like, in terms of hunting down. Now it becomes a matter of where can you hold on to a podium spot, and is anyone from the chase or third card charging? We saw how hot scores can be. Just outside of the circle for Trevor. Sounds like there's a conversation as to if he's out of bounds or not, and it appears that he is not. So you have to go all the way over the road and beyond. On the road is inbounds in this case. If you're over the road completely, then you're considered out of bounds. So that putt coming back would be for his par because he was considered inbounds. And so now he's going to have this left for bogey. Meanwhile, I hate to say it, but just Shasta just chilling, just waiting to pick up his park job. He's just hanging back. This golf can be really easy when you're throwing shots like he is. Drive first, putt last. I've got me a flying plate hat. I love it. And the amount of detail they put into their apparel is crazy. Just things that they think about. I was concerned about a sweatband and showing sweat, and they have extra protection in some of their hats, or maybe all of them for that, so that it doesn't show. It's the stitching that's branded. Pretty cool stuff. doing work. Shasta over on the 15th. Mind you, in 14 holes, he's picked up 13 birdies. He's looking for his 14th. Just one off of perfect right now. And we have a drivable par 4 coming up. See a pretty tight battle taking place with Trevor and Teemu, both sitting at 32 under. Pichet a few back of them. Kyle from the Chase card is doing just that.
Thank you.
With just 2 holes left to play, Kyle's at 11 under for his round, which I believe brings him to 28 under. So he's certainly fighting for a podium spot as well, or at least thinking about it. Oh, yes. Left side corner pocket. Pichet gets it to drop. Trevor will move to 33. And if you combine his last 3 holes, that's about the distance that this putt equals in terms of overall putting. So this one he has to work the whole 10 or 12 feet for. Shasta doing something special. He's 14 under through 15 holes. Thanks to Mulligan Hooligans supporting, jumped on board while I was over in Thailand and said they'd love to support the action that I captured in Thailand. So thank you guys for the support. As we head to the 16th, 377 feet. On the slightly longer side in terms of our par 3s out here. Shasta got it in both rounds 1 and 2. And now he'll have a look here in round 3. I'm going to guess this is one of the least birdied holes, and yep, the numbers back me up on that. Holes 3, 16, and 13 have about 15% birdie rate on them during the final round. And this, like I said, not a ton of danger. There's obviously out of bounds to the left. Just don't know how many people are putting it this far, this straight, and give themselves a look. And this is hanging out over the OB. Does he have time to fight back? No, and that's going to be really punishing. He's going to... He's calling a provisional, thinking that maybe it went out or touched in bounds, I should say, on the deep side. So he's going to call provisional and re-tee from here, and they'll see if they can have that conversation when they get closer. But so dangerous because, as you're seeing, if you don't come back in bounds, you're basically re-teeing if you're going up that left-handed route. Lefty hyzer. Here's Trevor.
Had to try.
Just enough tree to be frustrating there. Teemu to save bogey, and that's not going to do it. Right side chain, not quite enough for Pichet. Shasta now, closest to the pin of the group. Gets to 15 under for the round. 15 for 16. Drivable par 4 coming up next. And let's just face it, there's nothing you can do when somebody's shooting this kind of golf, even though we see Trevor get that one to drop. And excuse me, Trevor was a little closer than Shasta, I guess, just by a couple of feet. But sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw. You run into somebody that's unstoppable. And this was very close. This was just a one-stroke difference coming into this final round for Trevor to Shasta. And in fact, 2 between Shasta and Teemu. And now Shasta has collected 15 birdies. How's that line go? You can't stop them. You only hope to contain them. Something like that. I don't. That's not even applicable here. Big thanks to our friends at the Distinguished Doodle, and I've talked about this. A drivable par 4. There is a Mando on the right, so you have to go left of this tree just as the drone is flying. But then it goes slightly downhill and just filters down to this pin position. The right amount of turn from a righty or maybe even a roller absolutely can set you up for an eagle here. We saw a tap-in eagle during round number 2. That just needs to flatten a little more, but that should still give him a look. As you see the basket there, that much lower than where the tee is. Shasta flirting with the idea of possibly a perfect round. Or should I say an 18 under? I know we could all argue that it wouldn't be considered perfect if it had 1 par and an eagle, but and the edge just drops out of that. I'm looking for that to just continue to pan. All right, that's going to be in range. Possible eagle bid. Yeah, you would love to have a tap in when you're approaching from that distance, but very makeable. Oh, and Trevor gives the eagle a look. Shasta deep in circle 2. This is to help with the idea of getting to 18 under for the round. He wants it. Oh. Not enough. So it looks like he will be settling for birdie. And if he wants the elusive 18 under, that's going to need to be an ace on the final hole, which is absolutely in the realm of possibility. 18 just 281, slightly uphill. Through a very manageable triple Mando. And already thinking ahead to a course preview video that could be made. Well, I guess I could just cut together Shasta's round. In fact, I may do just that. borrow maybe his drive from hole 3, since that's the only one he's missed thus far. Borrow his drive from the previous day. Otherwise, we've got a full course preview video right here for you. Really just textbook on manipulating putters and mids. As we head to the 18th, the final hole, 282, slightly uphill. We saw Shasta hit the right side Mando, so it's definitely going to be in his mind as he's trying to close out on what could be an historic round.
Thank you. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure. Yes,
Awesome.
and Terry also.
Of course.
Yeah, Terry. Well, good job, brother. Good job, man. Terry, thank you.
Yeah.
All for this.
Shasta steps up on the 18th. Can he get to 18 under? It's tracking to the pin. Short birdie look remains for Shasta Criss. The entire tournament hanging out, enjoying it. A few people maybe had to catch some planes and such, but otherwise you're hanging out here having a good time. Big thanks to our friends over at the Lanna Rocks Garden. Pete and John and the club, everybody, anyone that has any part of this course whatsoever, it's truly an international gem. And today we've been treated to some incredible play as Shasta Criss has just completely dissected this course. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Let me know if you're coming to Thailand. That's what I need to know. I know many of you have said, I'm here because I've been watching Samui. I've been watching Chiang Mai for the last couple of years now. And more people continue to say that. And then I see them show up and I get a chance to meet some of you in person. That's what I need to know is if you're not coming in 2025, when are you coming? As we hear a bunch of sneezing. May have been just enough. Trevor completes the round. He's going to take a par. Finish in second place at 34 under. Congratulations to Trevor. First time in Thailand, and I know he made the most of it. In fact, he said he'll for sure be back. And Pichet will finish on the podium. Third place. Congratulations. Teemu, who I've now watched the last 3 weekends, taps out. And closing out with the highest rated round of his career at 1073, a 17 under, your champion in 2024's Chiang Mai Open, Shasta Criss.
Shasta Criss! Drink beer from it later. No, it was fucking unconscious. Insane, no curse, man. I'm just glad I got the win.
I just don't keep it. This
Yes. June today. That was awesome.